Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester, and I'm glad to hear this Wednesday morning. It's hump day here in the Florida Panhandle, and I guess the rest of the country, too. Glad you're watching today. We've got all kinds of good things to share with you. So let's get started with our weather. It's been chilly, but high today is going to get up to 58, and low is going to only get down to 39. So that's some good seasonal weather, is what we call it, seasonal, because that's what we expect this time of the year. Let's take a look at our river readings. The Apalachicola at Bluntstown is at a 13.6. There it is right there, dropping. It's going to start dropping a little bit. And the Choctaw at Caryville is at 8.7, and it's actually going up today, but it's going to probably be dropping by Friday afternoon, getting into Saturday, if you're planning some river activities. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. We're in neap tides here for a couple of days, and we got a high tide technically just right around the middle of the day at 2:08, and a low tide tonight at 11:45. Our wind direction will be north-northwest, but it's not going to be howling like it had been in the last month or so. It's going to be coming about 8 or 9 today, so that's pretty calm compared to what we have been having. Let's take a look at we're on our game forecast and all. We're going to talk about that because this is prime time of rut season, and we really want to make sure everybody's aware of that. So we'll get to that a little bit later. But let's go and take a break now. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back. Most of y'all know I'm entering into a new phase of my life of being on a school board member, and I've really been excited about it. We've had a couple of meetings. I'm still a rookie at it, but I'm getting to go to some of these festivities and all. And yesterday, or day before yesterday, we had a rededication of Richard Post's gymnasium. I want to share this with you because I think it's a human interest story. Richard Post was a coach at Jenks Junior High for forever. And I got to know Richard well. I didn't go to school there, but when I moved here, we started teaching swimming lessons together. And he always wanted at the Mosley Pool. He'd ride his bicycle from St. Andrew to Mosley on the side of the road on 390. Well, I made him quit doing it. I had a van. I made him ride to my house and put his bicycle in my van. He drove with me, and my kids were little. But we had a wonderful time, wonderful man. One of my favorite stories I want to share with some of you folks in the outlying communities because everyone here knows the story. But he was a PE teacher at Jenks, and one of the things he did, he had all boys, and the boys, if they were in the locker room and said something like a bad word or something. Back then, boys let it slip in the locker room. He wouldn't paddle them. Of course, he used the paddle a good bit, but he would make them write a Bible verse. And it became legendary. So many boys for a generation, some guys I knew said they ended up writing the whole Bible, but they were just kidding and all. But what a great man! And when he passed away, they named the gym. And then of course when Hurricane Michael blew it apart, and it was on CNN and all that, that was the one picture that a lot of people put nationwide as far as Hurricane Michael. So I had a rededication yesterday, or day before yesterday. I got to see Miss Joyce. His widow. Here's a picture of her here. This is at the new gym and all, and I had my mask on. Just took it off for the picture, and we just she is now 90 years old, living in the same house they all lived in. And Miss Joyce Post, what a wonderful lady. Had 7 kids, lost 2, but had a wonderful family and just good folks. And back then it was special. And Richard, he would go out. He lived in St. Andrew. He'd wade out, pick up oysters, and just eat them. And he was just in great shape physically, and actually got sick one time eating a bad oyster in August. But anyway, the Richard Post Gymnasium. I just want to share that with you because I get to. That's some of the fun things I get to do. Talking about fun things and all. We're wrapping up. I know some of y'all are going to be. I was talking to Michael Harris and different people. At the end of the season, you sort of need to take care of some does because you got too many does on your property. And a lot of folks are going to do that, and really it's a good time of year to take them, and because they're going to be overpopulated in the spring and summer come, it's going to be multiplying. So a lot of folks just get them for the meat, obviously, and which is good. But we look at the benefits of eating venison. And I want to share. I tried to find something just to share with you, and all kind of. I can learn better looking at different diagrams like this. So, anyway, venison versus beef. I thought this would be cool. On the left is venison, it's organic. On the right is beef. Seriously, look at the chemicals, hormones, antibiotic. That's true now. And on the left, there's no evidence of chronic wasting disease. They live in, okay. Bottom left, living a free life as nature has allowed. Bottom right, raised on a cattle farm and then slaughtered in a slaughterhouse in packs. So anyway, that's something right there. Health benefit. Venison has less cholesterol than turkey and chicken and is very low in saturated fats. And venison lowers your bad cholesterol and increases your good cholesterol. That in itself is huge, especially for you older guys, okay? It's high in B6 and B12, reduces risk of heart attacks and strokes, helps regulate metabolism. This is all good stuff. Helps digestive disorders. This is all research now. Increases skeletal muscle, builds lean muscle, and rich in iron. Okay, all those. Prevents anemia, all these good things. And right, this was interesting, I thought. It's less saturated, 50% less fat than beef. And you understand why with them being out in nature and all. So, if you have a chance to get some deer meat and all, and here it is, just different things, 68% of the protein and different charts right there. Vitamin B1 is full of that. Now, I do want to say this. Let me say this. This is when it's all natural. Now, when you do like myself and a lot of others, when you make sausage out of it and insert the man-made, the fat, and when man puts it in there and the flavoring and all that, that's what takes away some of those benefits. But if you eat just backstrap, that's going to be the benefit of it. So be aware of that, okay? Okay, I got a couple of pictures. Here's one. This comes from Panhandle City Kayak page. And we talk about this all the time on our catching bull reds at the Hathaway Bridge. This is Hathaway Bull. This is Scott Taylor. And it caught it a couple days ago. That is a nice bull red right there. You just paddle out there, catch a big fish, and let it go. That's fun. Billy Grantham sent this. I think he has a coon dog for sale. But he's going to sell it cheap because that dog's not going to be barking at many coons. Thank you, Billy. This is good. This is on the Panama City fishing page. This is Watson Bayou. Catching them at Watson Bayou, and it caught and released this big old drum. We've talked this year. My friend Tig caught that. Good job. And let's see. Oh, this has nothing to do with outdoors. It has something to do with just human nature. I thought it's a load of lumber. And by the way, I was checking on lumber. Everybody's talking about how lumber prices have gone up, and I haven't had any projects lately, so I really hadn't paid attention to it. And started checking around. It's like 30 to 40% on 2x4s, and everything just skyrocketed. And I was puzzled and started looking up some of the reasons. Two good reasons. One reason was the pandemic. And a lot of people staying at home and started to, these do-it-yourself projects everybody put off, they just decided to go and do that then. And then also with the pandemic, the sawmills, and I have a friend who had a sawmill up there out of Eufaula, Alabama. The workers, some of them got COVID, and some of those workers found out they could make more money getting unemployment than coming after cutting trees. So he lost some of his, so that affected lumber prices big time. And I noticed some people building deer blinds and all for next year. They're going to wait a little while to see if lumber prices. So anyway, get back to this picture real quick. That's what made me think about it. I thought I was hauling some lumber out. So you think that's a load of lumber, right? It's up in Georgia. Georgia police stopped them. And what it was, they were smuggling, human smugglers. They had, look how that's set up like that. Is that tricky? I'm going to go back to the original picture. It looks like a load of lumber, okay? So they take it off and they build a compartment there. Wow. So thank you for catching that, the law enforcement officers. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Speaking of the Richard Post Gymnasium at Jenks Middle School, I do want to mention they named the floor after a young lady who's been there a good while, Miss Sue Gilbert McKinney. This is her 50th year at Jenks Middle School. I've known her all 50 years, and she's from Marianna originally. The Gilbert family up there, saw some of the family there Monday at dedication, and it was really cool, and they named after her daughter was there, and She married Joe McKinney, Captain Joe. He's in my book. Look him up, old fisherman from way back. He watches the show every morning. He gets up early and watches. Good morning, Joe. Tell Sue we had her on TV this morning. All you Mariana kin folks and all. Okay, now a couple more pictures. I won't get to all of them. I'm going to show some more tomorrow. I do want to show Michael Harris. The other day, other morning, now this is not a trophy buck, but they've had to thin it out, and he and his girlfriend hadn't even started hunting yet. They were in the truck and getting ready, and that deer walked across the field. He stepped out of the truck and shot him. So there you go, right there. Good job. Now I do want to mention how technology is changing so much in our hunting. Let me see if I can get to this one. I want to use Brian Revere as an example. Let me give you an update real quick. Remember we talked about the Tennessee, the 2 hunters that were shot and killed in a duck blind. That's just been intriguing me. I've stayed on top of it. And I told you yesterday they hadn't found him, but they found the guy. They found his body. The 70-year-old man charged with killing 2 duck hunters. That's Jackson, Tennessee. Now that's between Memphis and Nashville. Jackson, that area there. Anyway, they found David. Anyway, I tried to piece it together. I still don't know what happened, but would it be an outdoor thing? I just wanted to share with you. You know, we had 3 duck hunters in the stand. He comes up, and from what I can piece together, reading between the lines, that being a public stand, I think they were racing to get in the blind first. And I think those 3 guys got there first, and he came up and said, "Well, can I join you?" And I think he just pulled out a gun and started shooting. The third hunter was able to grab the gun from him and hit him and knocked him overboard. But he was and then he got 2 victims and ran them, put them in the boat and ran them to the landing, tried to get them to the hospital. So it was just one of those tragic things. But they did find the guy's body at the bottom of the lake, so he was in there. And also, I want to mention. Have a heart right here. We were talking about I have this model right here. It's called Have a Heart, Cage model. Okay, and there, I have a friend of mine watches the show. He had some possums in the neighborhood, and he wanted to know if he could borrow it. I said, "You sure can." And he caught a possum and all. And I don't know, it's an ongoing saga as what all we're going to do with it. But Charles Nichols. Well aware of how to do things, and he caught a possum. He don't know if there's another possum in the neighborhood, and he said it didn't really bother him that bad, but the neighbor's dog barked all the time. So in a situation like that, that's the best way to do it. Just get one of those traps and just get it out of there. Remember, that's the trap that I got the raccoon in, and it made quite a stir. I got a lot of comments on that. But Have a Heart, I love that company. That's American made. And I've tried last night to find out who invented it, because I was trying to figure out how, and I couldn't find it. Usually you go right to, this was invented by John Smith in 1878, and got a patent. They don't have any of that. I can't find anything who did it. So I think it's just a combination over the years. Trappers just got, one did this, one did that, but that's to Have a Heart. And we don't, as outdoorsmen, we don't need to shoot and kill everything. If you can just relocate them, like we did that raccoon in my yard, or like Charles is doing with that possum, just relocate it, take them up to the woods somewhere and let them go. We'll make some new friends up that way. So, but they do have those, and there are a lot of them out there, and they're handy. Okay, let me see. I got a couple more pictures. I'm gonna have my pictures scattered this morning. Here, this right here is fine Bay County buck. Bob just killed this afternoon. This was sent to me. Hunter sent this to me. Here's a picture of it here. This was like Monday morning. Isn't that a great one? Great picture. All right, that's Bo on the right. Okay. All right, then Bill Dozier just sent this. Randy Dozier, Bill Dozier's son. I saw Randy at the little ceremony Monday, and Randy wanted to come by, and I don't know if he was going to borrow the gun or something, but Bill, he wanted his dad to go with him, and Bill had to go to that function and said it was cold and all. But Randy, congratulations. And Bill, thank you for sending him that picture. That happens so many times. Somebody wants you to go with them. I can't. I got to do this, got to do that. And they go out in the woods and they get that big buck. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's see what else I had. Let's add some names while I'm thinking of it. Not many, but got a couple of them because I didn't get around to them last week. Okay, from Bonifay, how about Gene Vaughn? Okay, John Walters. Gene felt like there was two of them in that one. Sierra Morris and Sabrina Morris. Okay. All right, let's. We had a good breaking point. Let's go and take a break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game time today by Blue Water Outriggers at Port St. Joe. They're looking at 3:37 this morning to 5:37, just wrapping up on that one. But this afternoon, 4:02 to 6:02, and that'll be a good time this afternoon later on. I do want to mention, talking about the deer meeting hall, I'll put this up one last time because some of y'all may want to send some meat here to the donated. Okay, we talked about doing this. We get a hold of Steve Shea, but you can win for, okay, we didn't show this good. You can win a $300 gift certificate to C&G. You get one chance for every 2 packages of meat donated, or 3 chances for a whole deer. So you got a chance to win something, and drawing is going to be March the 1st. So I just want to mention that, and I got to think about Ronnie Groom, and over the years, all the giving that he's given to the outdoor community and prizes and donations and something like a $300 gift certificate. I call him Ronnie Giving Groom because he's given so much. I appreciate Ronnie Groom, and he has such a love for outdoors and outdoorsmen like us, and he doesn't just talk the talk. He walks the walk in doing that. And I do want to mention this now. Speaking of these young men been on the show before, let's jump into fishing, because fishing is right around the corner. Remember last year before the pandemic, I had these 2 boys on the not so serious Saturday morning tournament at Deer Point Lake, High Point Landing, and the boys they sort of had to put it on hold last year. They're going to pick it back up now, starting March the 6th from safe light to 11 a.m. Of course, we'll go on it more later, give you more information on it, and life jackets and kill switches worn. But anyway, they're not so serious. Look it up, the Saturday morning tournament. So be aware of that. That's coming up. We'll talk more about it and promote it. I want to mention. I want to talk about this first. This is Brian Revere, and you've heard me mention the name several times. He's actually the principal there at Vernon High School, and he did a synopsis of his season. I'm going to sort of read it and sort of. He's actually closed out his season. This is the best season he's ever had. The best season I've experienced. So, but I want to talk about technology, how things are changing. He hunted. He gathered 3 different mature bucks. He gathered information. If the wind was wrong, I wouldn't go. One stand, I sat there 5 times and harvested 2 of the 3 on a postage stamp sized piece of property. Good food plots, automatic feeders, firing twice a day, 6 a.m., 4 p.m., cell cameras, so it keeps the scent away and pressure off of them, let them walk, let them grow. And he goes on to say, best is spending time in the woods, going to clock out for the rest of the season, take some youth to help them harvest their trophy, do some predator hunting, and get ready for turkey season. All 3 came from right here in Washington County. And I'll show you some of the pictures here, okay? He had them there at night. But I want to talk about how technology is changing the scene. That's the number one bird, the first one he took. And then this is number 2 buck. That's a nice harvest there. And then that's another picture, number 2. And this is number 3 that he harvested. Folks, that's okay, there it is right there. And what I was telling you, this is what I wanted to share with you. First of all, that's 3 nice bucks. And the big thing about that is, he didn't go out in the woods for weeks and weeks and weeks. What technology is doing, and we see it unfolding before our own eyes with the cameras and with the feeder and all the time and all that we can pick out when to go, and a lot of us are more busy, it seems like, than we should be. And so what he's doing, he's got his feed going out, the cameras tell him when the bucks are coming in, he's checking wind direction and all. So he's not going, he's not going to a huge amount of time in harvesting those bucks. And you see more and more of that with still hunters. And I think one of the most important things out of that hit me was on a postage stamp piece of property, a small piece of property. And that's why I was trying to explain to y'all when I had Clay Patrick advertising this hunting property throughout North Florida and South Alabama, you don't have to get 240 acres or something. I know that little piece of property, from what Brian's explained to us, is a small piece, but he's got a deer crossing back and forth. So if any way possible, you can get a little piece of 5 or 10 acre piece of property, and if it's in the right spot, you can see the results of it. So I was just really tickled for Brian to do that, and I just wanted to share, for the hunters like a lot of us, that's the ideal situation with the cameras and all. Speaking of, I was telling Jeff before the show, my spy point camera is still messed up. I'm going up today and try to get them straightened out. They worked good for weeks and weeks and weeks, and when the rut season came, I think the bucks had something to do with it. Okay, now I got several things. I'm not going to cover everything today. I do want to go ahead and talk about Valentine's Day, because this is February. So we got to start making Valentine's list, and I started last night. I'm not going to finish it. I just started some ideas, and so y'all have some ideas to spread with the other viewers, or let me know. This is for outdoor ladies and ladies who love. I'm talking about guys giving to girls now, and of course you got to always start off with the flowers and the candy. That's just part of it. And of course you want a good meal if you can. It doesn't have to be on Valentine's Day. This year Valentine's Day is on a Sunday. So maybe you can take them out 2 times, on a Friday and a Monday, and maybe take them to Los Angeles. But on tomorrow's show, I've got a list of some really cool things that you can give your Valentine's sweetheart. And I'll go and give you a hint to one of them right now. You saw it earlier on the show. Some of the Panhandle Outdoors paraphernalia, the shirts or the things like that, that would make a good Valentine's Day present. If you get a chance, and it's working good, we've got all the order system set up, and Travis has got some good results from it, and it's working out good with PayPal and all. So that's like I said, work in progress, but the progress has been really good on the Panhandle Outdoor shop. So keep that in mind as you start shopping around for some cool Valentine's Day stuff. Got a lot more stuff I didn't have time to finish. We'll finish it up tomorrow. You have a great day today. Do something good for your fellow man. Enjoy our great outdoors. Be good to your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.